Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Emulator with your host Dylan. And in today's episode, I have actually acquired the K36 Clone device. It's a handheld just recently off of Temu and loaded it up with Arkos OS. And I just wanted to kind of give you, I've loaded up some ROMs into here. I'm not able to figure out how to get to the artwork, and I need to add some BIOS, but I just wanted to kind of show you a brief. It's got the dual controls, the buttons in the back, super clicky. It's a single SD card here. There's a reset button, power button, got your volume, you've got your D-pad, function key, start, select. Buttons here seem to be nice, joysticks seem to be nice, and it's basically running off of RetroArch, which is up on the screen. And then also you have the standalone emulator PPSSPP as well. So for the games that I actually have, I've thrown on some Super Nintendo. So if we were going to just grab into Miss Pac-Man, get this game selected. Turn it up a little bit. Let's get some volume. Not bad. Sounds about right. Seems you had to use the D-pad for this game. It's not allowing you to use the joystick. But the game is working perfectly. And then to get out of the game, it's basically select, start, do it twice, pulls you right out of the game. Closes down the emulator. So, out of Super Nintendo, that works. I also have Nintendo 64. We can play actually Mario Kart. Screen appears to be clear. Sounds good. A little glitchy there. Typically it would say OK. Just a little bit of a lag. Other emulator cores it would actually say OK. Seems to be hicking up a little bit there. So if you wanted to go in and make any settings, I would jump right into the game. Losing a little bit of the sound. And we got a little bit of a lag. But you can use your D-pad for this. Seems to be working really well. Or the joystick, I apologize. You could use either one. See, I can go over here with the D-pad, or I can use the joystick. Whatever you prefer. Kind of a nice little option there. So we'll go ahead and get out of this. Should be able to exit right out. And it's going to take me back to the front screen. And for some reason, we're locked up here. We got a little locked up there. I had to do a little reset. Seems to be the core. We're going to go in and I'll show you actually under their menu. Get this booted right back up. It's running under emulation station. So what you would do is go to the start menu here. We can go to emulator settings. Nintendo 64. It's actually showing it's using the standalone Glide 64 MK2. If I wanted to change that, I could set it to auto. So what it did was when it uses that standalone, for some reason, some sort of hotkey combination is not allowing me to get out. So I'm having to do a reset. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that. So that just shows you there. If you actually go into, again, start menu, there's a main menu. You're able to go to emulator settings, and you're able to select specific emulators or cores for each of the platforms that are available. So these are the platforms that are listed that I have in my system. So if I were to go back to Super NES, it's basically picking the auto, which is the RetroArch. So we'll leave it at that. That's why it was working so well. Some of them will work well more than others. You just have to do a little bit of testing one by one. So we've also got Game Boy. We've also got Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. So if we were going to go and hit up Game Boy Advance, again, we could just take Mario Kart. So let's say Game Boy Advance. We go and look at the emulator settings for Game Boy Advance. It's auto. We want to keep that. Governor, basically it's the video card. We'll keep it at high performance. Go ahead and select it. It's going to open up the RetroArch platform. So far so good. Picture's not as good as that Nintendo 64. A little bit more pixelated, but there's probably ways that you can adjust it. Just really have just gotten this device, so I haven't gotten too far. I just wanted to initially show you some of the options on the K36. But it smoothly is going right to the games we want. And again, we can use the D-pad or the joystick. So it's working really well. Except for my crash. So if I go ahead and press the function key, it's going to open up the back end of RetroArch. I can go ahead and close the content. Select and start twice, gets me back out to the menu. I've got Sega Master System. Again, it's going to run right through the RetroArch software. Sounds about right. Golden Axe Warrior. We'll just put a quick name. We'll put Tom. Yep, everything looks about right. Movement, picture. So if we wanted to go ahead and make a couple changes, we can go into this function menu. We could actually create a save state. Just kind of follow the menu prompts that are at the bottom of the menu down here. They'll actually show you OK, back, or search. So we're going to go ahead and save this in a save state. Press A, and now you see down below green little bar saying it's been saved. If we go back in, we could actually reload it. But if we wanted to go ahead and do an on-screen overlay for bezels, we should be able to go back in, restart the game. We're just going to go with AAA. We should have had some borders. So let's go back in, go to our on-screen overlay. Well, we're still getting a border, so there's going to have to be a few adjustments I'm going to have to make. So we'll get out of that game. We've also got Sega Mega Drive, a few games here. Kid Chameleon. Sounds about right. Yeah, he's working really well for Kid Chameleon. Working really well. So we're going to get the dinosaur there. Oh, we got burned. We're going to go ahead and get out of there. Kind of shows the example of the Sega Mega Drive. Dreamcast, I've got one game, Crazy Taxi, but I need to install the BIOS for that. It's missing. So we'll have to come back to that. PSP, it will play, but it lags in some of the games. You're going to have to make some adjustments. For example, MotoGP, we'll go ahead and select it. When it boots up, we should be able to go into the function key, which will open up the back end of the PPSSPP standalone emulator. There we go. And from a previous game, I should be able to go over here and go load. We'll select a quick motorcycle game. Screen looks really well. And you can see it's going to lag or get a little glitchy. There it goes. So what we can do is we can actually go over here to game settings. We can look at 2x resolution, 2x skipping frame down below. Let's take our resolution and put it to auto. We'll go ahead and go back. We'll go ahead and go continue. Oh, he sounds horrible. And the picture looks good, but the sound is really bad. Now again, joystick, D-pad. We're going to crash right there. And that is going to end that. Bad example. Go ahead and exit out of this. So the PPSSPP version is 1.18.1. It is about 1 or 2 versions behind, but it is fully functional. It will work, but it's going to have to operate with some really low PSP games. It's going to struggle for this device on the K36. There is a way to get ports on it if you were able to connect a Wi-Fi adapter. At this present time, I do not have anything. There's Pico, ports, options. You can go into this menu. It has some advanced tools that can be used. There is a Wi-Fi setup, but I don't have a dongle currently to make it function. You RetroArch, you could go in there and make some settings and changes. And then again, going into the start menu, you're able to go into the main menu and you're able to get a display settings, what the screen is going to look like for the theme. There's only one current theme being set, the NES box. You can make some adjustments here for screen images. You can go down here for sound and make some adjustments. Create a game collection. Again, we were talking about emulator settings, so you could go into these specific. If we were going to select Dreamcast, we could do the standalone, which would be used Flycast emulator. PlayStation Portable, you can see it actually has a standalone. So you can see those different choices. There's a scraper if you had Wi-Fi. There's some advanced settings for changing your time zone. If there's no Wi-Fi, it's just going to default back to the one time zone that you set it up with. It will not save it. And the clock isn't going to be correct at this time because we have no Wi-Fi. So there's some settings down here you can scroll through if you wanted to see frame rate, you wanted to change some other levels of running, and then coming down here to quit. So basically we've been on this for maybe 10 or 15 minutes going through the K36, and my battery life, I maybe have lost 2 or 3%. So again, this is what I'm running, the Arkos for the K36 Clone as the custom firmware. And we'll go ahead and get out of this. And again, thanks for watching Beyond the Emulator. If you enjoy these videos that I provided, go ahead and put a like and subscribe. I've got more to come. Again, thanks and happy gaming.